I rank the most popular chips, best to worst. Santa Cruz and medicinals. Let's go ahead and get this. Or medicinals? What did I say? Medicinals. My fault. Speech impediment. What?
Today, we're gonna tell you the healthiest chips and the worst chips that you can eat. Chips are one of the most
Bro, he be going around giving people like $100, be like, no more soda, no more soda. Lit, bro. He's lit.
popular snacks across the world, with the global chip snack market being about $60 billion per year. That's insane. But in order to find the healthiest chip, we need
Who the hell just be snacking on chips like that?
to go back a little bit. Potato chips were invented in 1853 when a chef was just thinly slicing potatoes, frying them in probably some lard or tallow at the time, and making the world's first potato chip. He actually called them Saratoga slices, and that was like the first name of what you would know as a potato chip. Corn
Saratoga slices. That's crazy.
chips and tortilla chips are probably
He did some research.
much older than we think, but the first kind of commercialized versions were in around 1940. Taking a tortilla, slicing it up, and frying it. Today, they're a very popular snack, and unfortunately, some of the versions we're about to dive into now are absolutely horrible, but stay tuned to learn about some chips that are actually pretty healthy. Let's dive in.
Damn, there's healthy chips.
Unfortunately, a lot of really dumb people eat Takis and chips like that.
Hey, aggressive. These are like dumb people. What?
Doritos, hot Cheetos. Now let's look at the ingredients in these Takis. You see corn flour. Lab testing has shown that this corn is probably littered with glyphosate, which is an herbicide that might have bad health effects. And then we see this soybean canola oil blend. Now where these get really bad, in many of these chips it's the same thing. They add artificial food dyes in here to make them bright blue. Oh, my Doritos are bright red. Blue one. You also have hydrolyzed yeast, soybean protein in here, disodium guanylate, which is a preservative, TBHQ, which is also a preservative that has probably deleterious health effects. You even have just sugar in here. This shit is garbage. I'll admit, I've eaten some bags of Doritos when I was a kid, but I wish I didn't. You see pretty much the same thing. Most likely pesticide, herbicide sprayed corn, a mixture of different seed oils, and in here they have a bunch of artificial food dyes. Yellow 6, yellow 5, and red
What's bad about artificial dyes?
40. Sugar. You're just not getting any nutrition from here, and I'm really worried about that mixture of seed oils and artificial food dyes. Why would you want to be eating that garbage? Flamin' hot Cheetos. I remember a kid at my meetup came up to me and he said, I'm trying to be healthy. I do like flaming hot Cheetos, but every time I eat them, I vomit them up. Hey, genius. You probably shouldn't do that then. Same
He woke up and said, violence.
recipe, bro. Enriched cornmeal, multiple types of sugar, multiple types of preservatives, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6. This is trash, and to all my Latinas and Latinos out there, you can't be eating this. We're gonna dive into some better options for chips for y'all. Don't eat this. And now we see the classic Lay's, made with real potatoes. But let's see what's really in there. You see potatoes and then a blend of different seed oils. Canola, corn, soybean, and salt. So I think these are not as bad as the ones I was just holding. You still have this mixture of seed oils. We know from studies that when you expose seed oils to high temperatures, they can produce more of something called benzoate-pyrene, which is potentially carcinogenic. When they compared that with beef tallow, they found beef tallow produced less of those benzoate-pyrene. So no, these Lay's, not a fan of them. So now there are many brands that have popped up that have
Damn. I know.
claim to be a healthier option. But we gotta rate these. What are they made of? What are the ingredients? And how do they taste? How's the texture? Let's dive in. Probably one of the most popular brands lately is Masa. Masa uses organic corn, 100% grass-fed beef tallow, and then they have different varieties. Like, what is this one right here? Okay, this is just the corn and beef tallow. This one has some lime, and they have this churro one right here. Shout out churro. This one does have some organic powdered sugar, but not tons of it, so maybe I'll eat one. And some cinnamon. Now, these chips are pricey, don't get me wrong, so that will factor into the overall score. But let's try a few out. I've had these before. I know these are gonna taste good. There is the chip. That's really good. On the back, you can see these are pesticide-free limes.
Looks like a Dorito.
Overall, I'm a fan of these. If they were a bit more affordable, they would get a higher score. But because they taste so good and they're so consistent, and now they're available a lot of places, we're going 7 out of 10. You can cook some ground beef or some steak. I've made nachos with these, and you put some cheese over them. Dip them into like a meat sauce, basically. I've done that recipe a few times. Pretty good. These are very similar. I like the lime ones more.
Damn, he snapped. I wonder how much they are.
Let's try the churro one. All right, cracking open that churro one. Smells really good. It says 9 chips is gonna give you 2 grams of sugar, so that's not too much. But sometimes I feel like it might be like more. And I try to minimize my processed sugar intake, so let's just have a little chip. That's good, not too sweet. I do like these. These are gonna get a 6.5 out of 10. If you tried those, let me know below, but let's move on to some other brands. By the way,
Damn, should we do a chip review?
when I'm filming these videos, guys, none of this is sponsored at all. Not one of these chip brands has paid me. None of that. I just like to just do these. I don't really give a shit, you know? I got my own brand, and then I can give a more honest review. Let's dive into these Siete. So I was stoked to see these pop up because these are affordable. Sometimes I've seen them like 2 bags for $5. Like, that's a really good deal. We see a blend of different
2 for $5 is good.
types of organic corn, organic white corn, and organic yellow corn. We see avocado oil and sea salt. And the lime ones are pretty much the same thing with some lime oil. Let's try out a bite. Now, the Siete family did sell their company, so you gotta just like really read the ingredients of Siete. I don't think it's the worst thing. They could have had stuff in the contract saying not change the ingredients. We don't really know that back end stuff, so you gotta be aware as a consumer. Let's try a bite of one of these. There is the chip right there. Overall, after taking a bite of that
Bro, private equity just be buying everything.
masa chip, the masa chip does taste a lot better. Now, these aren't bad. This is like a classic tortilla chip. The good thing is these are affordable. So you're having people over for a sporting event, something like that. You got kids and you want to give them like a little bit of chips in their lunch. That's going to be a really good option and you're not going to break the bank. Like the masa chips are just too expensive. So because of that, I'm actually going to give these the same rating as the masa chips, a 7 out of 10. But if we were just doing purely
Yo, I'm so sleepy.
taste, the masa chips taste better, have a better crunch and overall flavor. And I do prefer beef tallow over avocado oil overall. So like, yeah, the masa chips are a bit better, but these are pretty good. If you've tried these, let me know below. On to the next ones. Now we're seeing some plantain chips by this brand, Barnana. We see organic kettle cooked plantain chips. The ingredients are plantains, coconut oil, and Himalayan pink salt. Let's dive in. All right, let's pull out a chip. There is a plantain chip. Try it out. I love these. Plantain chips are one of my favorite things. I got a bag of Erewhon
Plantains are so good.
plantain chips recently, and they're probably way overpriced, but those are like the best plantain chips I've ever had. These are pretty affordable. You see them a lot of places. Plantains are really good for your gut. These probably even have a good amount of potassium. Let's see if they even put that on there. Oh yeah, 187 milligrams in 1 serving. Overall, I have to give these a 9 out of 10. Plantain chips are one of my favorites. You can use them in various recipes by like grinding these up. Big fan of these. Now let's try some of these Jackson's avocado oil sweet potato chips. I'm a big fan of sweet potatoes overall. We see sweet potatoes, avocado oil, sea salt.
Yeah, me too. Like sweet potato fries and shit like that. Oh
Let's
yeah.
try them out. They smell really good. These are also pretty affordable and widely available. I'm seeing these at a lot of stores. Are you guys? Let me know below. Let's try a bite of these sweet potato chips. Pretty good. These are delicious, not as delicious as the plantain chips in my opinion. So I'm going to give these a 7.5 out of 10. Oh, Kettle brand. Kettle traditionally is one of those seed oil soaked potato chip brands, but it looks like they have one made with avocado oil, non-GMO, apple cider vinegar. Let's see what we got here. We got potatoes, avocado oil, apple cider vinegar, and they use an apple cider vinegar powder here with rice maltodextrin, which is going to be basically some sugar. They put just sugar in there as well, and they put a little bit of flavoring. So, you know, a good amount of ingredients in there, but if it's going to give me that like vinegar, salt and vinegar taste, it's okay. There is the chip. Honestly, that gave me a pretty good salt and vinegar flavor. Well, the ingredients aren't perfect because of that sugar in there. It's not that much sugar, and it's definitely gonna be better than your seed oil soaked salt and vinegar chips. I would give these a 7 out of 10. Pretty good.
Oh yeah, salt vinegar chips.
Good. And this brand has big distribution, so you can probably find these in a lot of different stores. Also, pretty affordable. Now we're gonna try some brands that might be lesser known. We were able to find these in our health food stores, Lazy Acres, and Seaside Market. Let's check these out. Norse Roots, forged in tallow and flame. Valhalla Feast, rosemary steak flavor. So we see potatoes, we see beef tallow. Now we do see some sugar in here, which is kind of like why. Garlic powder, onion powder. Cool, let's try those out. And you know what, let's try this, what do we got here? A cheddar and sour cream flavor. Now in here, you're gonna see some ingredients like yeast extract, some lactic acid, this seasoning blend, which is gonna be some whey, some buttermilk, some onion powder, some natural flavors, some garlic powder, and that's just to give that cheesy flavor, so pretty decent. Let's try this one out first. There is the chip. I don't get like a lot of cheddar sour cream initial smell when I open the bag, but let's try one out. Pretty good. So I'll rate these together. The cheddar sour cream. Now the thing is, guys, a bag is like gonna be like $6 to $7, so we're on the higher end. So for those cheddar sour cream, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. Let's try this rosemary steak.
5 out of 10.
Those are really good. I'm kind of a big fan of rosemary. Dude, like a small handful of these served with like a steak. Yeah, that would be really good. Even though these are expensive, I'm gonna give that a 7.8 out of 10 because I like those. Now we're gonna try tallow cooked fat chips. San Diego, cool. In here we see potatoes, beef tallow, and salt, that's it. On the pricier end of the spectrum, usually around $7 per bag, although I saw they have like a 10-ounce bag, which gets it down in price. Ooh, now look at that, guys. Now that's a chip. That just looks like more like you sliced a potato and you put it in tallow and then you put it into a bag, and that's pretty cool. Let's try it out. Bro, that might be the best tallow chip I've eaten out of all these. It's thick. It's like natural tasting. It's hard to describe, but it really does seem like they cut some potatoes, put them in tallow, and put them in a bag. Like, they're not as thin as the other chips, but I like that. Price is definitely up there, but I'm going to give these an 8.5 out of 10. Next up, we have Rosie's small batch kettle cooked tallow chips. No seed oils.
Damn, I haven't seen any of these, bro. I can't rate any of these from personality, like personal. Like, what?
3 ingredients, non-GMO. With Vera salt, that's cool. Potatoes, 100% grass-fed tallow, and sea salt. They say it's microplastic-free sea salt because they're using the Vera salt. They're inspired by 103-year-old Rosie. Was probably whipping up, you know, simple ingredient chips. That's the thing, before seed oils got popular in about 1920, all chips were probably cooked in lard or beef tallow. So let's try these out. There is the chip. Let's give it a bite. Those give me Lay's vibes, but they're really like not as salty. I'm not getting too much salt. And after having that bite of that thick fat chip or whatever it was called versus this, there's nothing wrong with the ingredients here. The price is like middle range for some tallow chips, but I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I just preferred those tallow fat chips. They cooked me. All right, now we're gonna try some Boulder Canyon. We got some thin and crispy sea salt avocado oil chips. We see potatoes, avocado oil, sea salt. Price is pretty good on these. They're widely available. There is the chip. Very thin, you get that saltiness. Those really remind me of like a Lay's. Well, I haven't had a Lay's chip in a long time, but I would assume it's very similar to that. Due to the price and availability of these, and how much they mimic like a classic Lay's, which can help get people off of that bullshit, I'm gonna give these an 8 out of 10, honestly. And now we see some Siete chips. There are so many of the Siete varieties out there now, we couldn't even have them all. There's like the cassava chips, there's like a million varieties. We see potatoes, avocado oil, some chili powder, some beet powder, garlic powder, onion powder, habanero powder. Pretty good ingredients. Remember, they got bought out, so always check their ingredients. There is the chip. A lot of seasoning on there. Reminds me when I lived in Mexico for a year when I was young, because this has some spice. They're not like crazy spicy though, but like, look, if I'm having my girl's family over and I want to have some chips, you know, available for all the Mexicans, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna give these a 7 out of 10. And last, we have Zach's Mighty Organic Tortilla Chips. Avocado oil, regenerative corn, non-GMO, organic stone ground yellow corn, organic avocado.
Damn, chat. I'm sorry, I don't have much to commentate on this. I don't know. I've never had any of these.
Avocado oil, sea salt, and lime. So, let's try these.
It looks like a lot of corn chips, though.
Out. These are usually around $5 per bag, so pretty good for the price. Take one ad there. It's a big, nice tortilla chip right there. Let's try it out. Bro, that's fire. The right amount of lime. I actually really like those, and honestly, like, they're similar to the masa chips. Masa chips definitely taste better, but when you consider these are $5 for a bigger bag, these are gonna get a pretty high rating from me. 8.5 out of 10 for these. All right, bro, I am chipped out, dude. Ate too many chips. Gonna go to the gym and burn off some of these carbs. Honest.
Bro said he's chipped out.
Truth is, chips in general aren't like the healthiest thing because you're still cooking potatoes with a really high heat oil. And while I think some brands like those fat chips really do seem like they're just kind of cooking potatoes in beef tallow, which can be a good carb source. I'm a big fan of potatoes. I think chips should be like a small little like side thing that you're eating, not some like main source of calories, obviously. But it's really popular to pull up to whatever, a football game, a UFC fight, a birthday party, whatever it is, with some chips. So let me know what healthy brands you guys have tried below. And if you're eating Doritos and Takis and Cheetos, you need to just let that shit go. It's horrible for you. Follow me for more, subscribe, comment, all that stuff helps build the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's stay locked in and healthy. See you guys soon.
Yeah, but he didn't show no Doritos. He didn't show me no Doritos. Where my Doritos at? Where my Doritos?